Welcome to Soft Decembers. This is the space where the year slows down, where moments stretch long enough for us to finally notice them. December always carries a quiet weight. It isn't heavy, just a gentle, persistent reminder that time moves, and we must pay attention before it slips away. This episode is titled "The Year Taught Me Grace." You see, grace isn't always visible in the moment. Sometimes it's hidden in the pause, the detour, the unexpected difficulty. It only becomes clear when we finally stop rushing, when we stop performing, and when we truly listen. Hindsight is a remarkably patient teacher. It waits for the constant noise of daily life to settle into a soft hum. Then it gently shows you what was happening all along, right beneath the surface. Looking back, I realized just how often I missed the small, quiet victories because I was too busy chasing the big, loud ones. I was so focused on the destination that I forgot to appreciate the journey itself. There were losses that felt like absolute failure at the time, moments that left me feeling defeated and small. Now, I can see they were just detours, not dead ends. They were redirections, not rejections. Certain doors that closed, relationships that drifted apart, meticulously laid plans that completely fell apart. They were not punishments. They were protection. They were guidance. They were a fundamental reshaping of what I thought I needed into what I was actually meant for. Hindsight reveals truths you simply cannot see when you're in the thick of it. Slow down. Trust the timing of your life. Be gentle with yourself, especially when you feel you've made a mistake. I remember so many moments when I thought I was too late, too small, or too unprepared to handle what was in front of me. I felt like I was falling behind, that everyone else had it figured out. But now, looking back from this vantage point, I see I was exactly where I needed to be. Every single step, every stumble, was part of a larger plan. And grace was there the entire time, even when I couldn't feel it, quietly carrying me forward, holding me steady through the storm. This year brought its share of challenges. There's no denying that. Some days were heavy, draped in frustration or loneliness. I think we all felt that at some point. But hardship has a unique way of teaching patience and resilience. It's a demanding instructor, but its lessons are profound. It forced me to slow down, to step off the relentless treadmill of productivity. It compelled me to reconsider my priorities, to ask myself what truly matters. It guided me to look inward, away from external validation and toward internal truth. So now, I find myself grateful for the discomfort. I'm grateful because it became a mirror. It reflected the areas of my life that needed my attention, the parts of myself I had been neglecting. It highlighted the relationships that demanded more honesty and vulnerability. It showed me the boundaries that needed to be drawn to protect my peace. It illuminated the choices that required immense courage. Choices I had been avoiding for far too long. Gratitude for hardship does not erase the pain. It doesn't pretend the struggle wasn't real. What it does is transform that pain into wisdom, into strength, and into a newfound clarity. It gives purpose to the suffering. Even when life felt fundamentally unfair, when things happened that made no sense, the lessons were always hidden in the tension. Grace was present, not first as comfort, but as a teacher, shaping me quietly, molding me into a version of myself better equipped for the future. When I compare who I was at the start of this year to who I am now, the difference is clear. It's not a loud, dramatic transformation, but a quiet, internal shift. This year, I learned to set boundaries without carrying the weight of guilt. I learned that saying no to others is often saying yes to myself. I learned to rest without feeling lazy, to embrace stillness as a necessary part of growth, not a sign of failure. I learned to protect my energy as the precious resource it is, and to choose peace over the allure of being right in an unnecessary conflict. Growth is subtle. It's a quiet evolution. It shows up in the small ways you navigate your day, It's in how you learn to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. It's in how you find it in your heart to forgive, not for their sake, but for your own, without expecting them to change. It's in those quiet, solitary moments where you choose yourself, your well-being, and your sanity, instead of trying to prove a point to someone who isn't listening. Transitions, endings, disappointments, they no longer feel like failures. They feel like guidance. They're signposts pointing me in a new direction, closing a chapter to make room for a better one. The version of myself that endured this year is softer, calmer, and more compassionate. Yet, paradoxically, stronger and more resilient. That is how grace works. It builds you quietly, from the inside out, until one day you stand up after a fall and realize you are so much sturdier than you ever thought possible. December is not about slowing your life to a halt. It's about slowing your mind enough to finally notice what has been unfolding all around you and within you. Soft Decembers is about recognizing how far you've come, what you've survived, and how grace has been quietly shaping you all along. This year has taught me patience, resilience, humility, and strength. It has shown me that grace is not only a source of comfort, it's a form of wisdom, a guiding hand, and a well of quiet strength that never runs dry. Sometimes, simply noticing it, acknowledging its presence in your life, is the greatest gift of all. Soft Decembers is here, and today, the lesson was grace. Thank you for listening.